Well, a very warm welcome and welcome back to The Humble Climb. Thanks so much to Kara and Ty for popping on to last episodes. If you haven't managed to have a look at that one, please go back and have a look. I'd like to kick things off by firstly starting and thanking, of course, the people that are continuing to help this platform grow. Gigi Heron Kids, Marissa at 70 Berkeley Street in Huntingdale. If you've got any foils, blow waves, you name it, Kianna, you'll have something, I'm sure. We'll send you down to Marissa at 70 Berkeley Street. And when the time comes for kids, she's fantastic at cutting kids' hair. So go down and see them. Gigi Heron Kids, follow them on Instagram. They're amazing. B&A Car and Truck Repairs, they're all over the country. They're currently in Belgium. Now they're doing some karting there. They're in and out, fly out, but can't thank them enough for always getting behind it. Wall-to-wall Prince James from down in Cheltenham. He's just amazing support, so I can't thank him enough once again. So please check out their work. And last but not least, Bonza Snowball. So Kianna, you're going to have some amazing treats to go back. I know you've just finished from the gym, but you're going to have some amazing treats to go and share with the family tonight. Kianna Magelaki, is that the right way of saying it? Yeah, so I could probably say it being a fellow Greek. But funny story of how we sort of came across you is we were both in lockdown and we both did a Tony Robbins course, which was by correspondence or Zoom, whatever you want to call it. There was like 89, I reckon there was 8,000 people in that.
Yeah, I'd say probably 8,000. Yeah,
and then we got put off into these little rooms to like discuss things. And by chance, we both got put into the same room. There was like four or five people per room.
Yep.
And we both got put in the same room, which is just kind of fate. So it's kind of crazy that we both got put into that, considering that we were both Melbourneites and from people all over the world. So I wanted to bring you on because I'm seeing what you're doing in the fashion space with your label Kianna. Is Kianna official?
Yeah, no, Kianna.
Just Kianna. Just Kianna. So I wanted to bring you on, and I know you've never done a podcast before, so I feel like I'm getting an exclusive scoop, which is awesome. But a huge welcome to The Humble Climb, and it's exactly what we're about.
Thank you.
A massive thank you for accepting to come on because I know you were a little bit nervous and we were talking about it and I even sent through a few questions just to say, hey, look, I'm not going to go too deep, so don't stress. But I wanted to get into it and get you in. I know I've had a few fashion, makeup, all that sort of stuff in. I love seeing people's journey unfold in front of us, and that's where people start out. And obviously I had Effie Katz on, who is doing awesome things as well, and I don't feel like you're probably going to be too dissimilar in that, but I just love seeing people's journeys unfold. So Melbourne girl?
Yes, Melbourne girl.
Whereabouts?
Box Hill, around Box Hill South.
Yeah, okay, so not too far from us here.
No, but recently moved to the Dandenong Ranges.
Nice.
Yeah. So I grew up around, Box Hill, Burwood area.
Melbourne born, but you left Melbourne at a young age, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah. So a lot of people thought I was born in Greece, but I was born here and moved to Greece when I was really, really young.
So how old were you when you moved to Greece?
About 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. And stayed there for how long?
About 4 years until I was about 5, just before primary school, and then came back.
Came back. Yeah, right. And the Greece move, who was that with? Obviously family, or?
So that was with Mum. Yep. So Mum took me over there. Yeah, just there was a lot that happened when I was a kid, and a few things that she went through, which were, quite challenging as a mum. She suffered a lot of physical abuse from my dad, who was an alcoholic at the time. So she felt, she needed to get me out of that environment and just do whatever she needed to do as a mum. And, at the time she was 27, young.
Wow, so your mum was pretty young.
Yeah, so, she had to make that decision and say, what's going to be best to bring up my daughter in, and she knew she just had to get me out of that environment. So she convinced my dad to sign over my passport and off to Greece we went.
Strong mum. Mums are cool. Mums are definitely cool. So I say my mum's the goat, but I think you'll probably say yours is the goat.
Yeah, she's the goat. They're all the goats.
I love it. Awesome. And then in Greece, Crete, wasn't it?
Crete, yeah.
Yeah, love it. Have you been back since?
I haven't.
Wow.
I haven't. But I think we might, like me and my fiance might get married there. He's really convinced he wants to get married there. So we'll see.
Amazing.
So we might go over maybe next year to
thinking Crete again.
Yeah, in Crete, yeah.
Interesting to know. So obviously at the young age, you grew up with the Greek language.
Yeah. I could only speak. I came here and I had to have ESL classes. I couldn't speak English. Yeah, I was that little Greek child. I was like,
I love it.
And I didn't know how to speak English.
Do you still speak it now?
I do, but not as well.
Yeah,
not as well. So I can understand it more than I can speak it. But I think just growing up, I just didn't want to know how to speak it. I did Greek school and then I said to mum, like, I don't want to do it anymore. And then it kind of just faded, but I still understand it like a lot. And I think that, if I was to go over there, I would pick it up very, very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a language that I was the same. I hated Greek school. Hated Greek school with a passion. But it's sort of like a language that you never forget.
Yes.
And now I'm like almost like the little Greeklet, like listen to Greek music and whatnot. I listen to other music as well, but I'm just like
a lot of Greek.
Yeah, I know exactly. It dominates my life, a lot of it. So which is cool. So I love hearing that. And obviously, so your mum's back here now, based in Melbourne.
Yes.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. So we came back here and kind of built a life and
so cool.
Yeah.
So cool. So cool. I want to get through to why I guess you went to Greece. We know all that happened. Growing up over there, do you remember many memories of what that was like?
I do. It was very, very different to what it's like here. I was like a little village child. I'd run around. I used to get called like the child from Nimbin because I'd run around with like my hair all messy and no shoes on. And, it was just a real relaxed lifestyle. I used to go on the motorbike with my uncle when I was like 3-4 years old, go to the beach, go fishing with him. It was just such a laid back lifestyle. Go pick olives with your
That's the best.
Just like I remember this truck that used to come past the house and it would have bread and like your olives on there and your milk, fresh milk, and you would take it off it was just so different. So different.
No, I get it because I keep on going back every year. Every year I say that I'm not going to go back the next year, and then it comes time where it's a bit of winter. Like now I booked like 3 weeks ago to go in 3 weeks.
So jealous.
Like I'm always saying I'm not going to go, but it's just too hard not to. So I get what you're saying. So you got all your family back there?
Yeah, not all of them. There are like half and half. So my mum was one of 11 kids. Wow. So she's got a few sisters over there and a brother, and then there's a few sisters that are here too.
Oh, good. Oh, that's awesome.
So
that's
kind of
awesome.
half.
Why? So you go to school, you finish school. What do you end up doing? Do you go straight into fashion?
No. So when I was younger, I did dancing. I tried to do a bit of acting, singing, playing the drums.
I can sing. What's your go-to in the shower?
My what?
Go-to song in the shower.
Go-to song. Oh, I sing anything. I can't sing though. Oh. I'm not good. Like we stopped that.
I like a Mariah Carey.
Oh, do you, Mariah Carey?
You know the is it Mariah Carey the song of the song of Let's Go Girls? Oh, Shania Twain.
Oh, that's Shania Twain. That song used to give me nightmares when I was a kid. Oh, I used to have nightmares of Shania Twain for some reason from that video clip.
I know what's funny. I never watch a clip, but literally, like if I'm in the shower going and I just want to start my day off, I'll chuck Shania Twain on, and it's like Let's Go Girls, and it just gives me like this oomph. I don't know.
I can see that.
Yeah, it's really weird. I listen to the most weirdest music I've ever got. Yeah, it's crazy.
No, I kind of listen to anything. But I started off when I was younger, a lot of dancing. I did ballet, and then I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was a kid that used to wear 4 outfits a day, and I used to get told off all the time by my mum and my stepdad, like stop changing. I used to put everything in the washing basket. Like you've worn that for 10 seconds, doesn't need to go in the washing basket.
That's the best.
So that's kind of, I think, where the fashion kind of started to evolve. And then, when I was younger in Greece, like helping my yaya sew things as well by hand. And then my godmother here, she used to sew, so I used to help her as well. So that's kind of, I think, where it started to unfold. And when I realized that I wanted to be a professional ballet dancer when I was really young, and then like I grew into a woman and I didn't have the ballerina body type. So I was like, I don't think this is for me. I just didn't think it was the right path for me. And I was like, what can I do? And then I remember I used to love sewing the ballet costumes that I used to wear. And I used to sew the little beads on, and it kind of just evolved from there.
That's awesome. It's funny as you talk about the changing 4 outfits a day. Like I still almost do it to this day. Like I'm pretty bad. But if my mum's watching, the first thing she'll be like, "Alos Dimitris," meaning for those that don't speak Greek, which is like another dim. Like because that is exactly me to a T. Like for me, I'll wear something for literally 5 minutes.
Yeah. Next outfit,
and then I'm just like straight into the wash basket.
Yeah. And I used to do that as a kid. So it's like 4 outfits a day, and then your school uniform.
It's so bad. It's so bad, but at the same time, I just get funny that if I know I put it on, it means it's going to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
100%. I'm all about the hygiene life. So you finish school, and then obviously, do you head up the TAFE path or the uni path or anything like that?
Yeah. So when I was 16. Year 9? Yeah, at the end of end of year 10, when I decided, I went and watched a fashion documentary and I was like, fuck this. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to be a designer. So I decided to not do year 11 and 12 at the high school I was at, which was Mount Waverley. And I literally
You went to Mount Waverley, sick?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I enrolled myself into Box Hill Senior, which is like, it's a high school, but they had different elective courses and they did fashion. And I just decided to do 2 fashion classes, sports class, drama, dancing, and English. And that was my curriculum.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because you did the dress for very good friend of ours in Danielle Weber when she was in America with The Rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love her.
Did that help blow up a bit?
It did, yeah. Like Danielle has always been really, really supportive of me and my business, and I love working with her because she's the coolest person. Yeah, and she's so chill, she's so laid back, and she's
so real.
She's so real, and that's what I love about her. So if she's like, Kianna, I need something to wear, I'm like I'll drop everything just to go. Yeah, I've got you. I
love it. Yeah, no, it's because that's just off topic, but we actually spoke about that on that podcast with Danielle because it's cool, and that she's a great example as to how she supports other people. I think even to this day, like I've got a little 30th shindig happening next week, and I said to her, listen, if you want to come past for a drink, feel free. She's gonna come. Like, she's awesome.
She's just, she's the coolest person, and she's so. And I remember that when she called me, she's like, Kianna, I have something like an event that I need a dress for, and she's like, but I haven't told anyone what it is. And when she told me, I was like, oh, fucking, you can wear whatever you want. Like, let me bring you all this stuff to try on. Because when she told me that, I was just so happy for her because she's just, I've seen her work. Like, I've known her since high school, so I've seen her. Evolve, and just what it's evolved into is incredible.
Just sort of dawned on me, as I said about my 30th birthday. You're more than welcome to attend as well. It's not a birthday party. It's literally like it's literally a very family friendly event. Yeah. I've organised it very last minute.
How many people have you in?
Look, it started with 50.
Yeah,
now we're up to 150. But it's when I say it's very family friendly, like I've organised a face painter for the kids.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Like this is going to be Yidor. We're doing it at a church hall. Finishes at 11 o'clock, which is fantastic because that's where
it'll finish at 11.
No, you know why it has to? Because that's a liquor license. That's when it ends. Yeah. And I'm not I don't like staying out too late anyway. So I'll be in bed by 11:30, 12. I'll read the cards, of course, and, take in what's in the cards. I'm more important about what words are written than any type of monetary donations that are given towards the birthday, of course. But yes, so please, I'm going to share the details. Please come down for a year or bring your partner. Danielle's going to be there as well. We've got lots of people. I pretty much invited everyone that's been interviewed.
Yeah.
Has copped an invite.
Amazing.
So you're part of the journey. So please come down. You're more than welcome. So actually, Braden, I forgot to invite you. Sorry, mate. So growing up as to where it's at, and then what sort of, how did you come across that day where you thought, okay, I'm going to start a fashion label? Talk me with the name. Like, I know it's your name, but what was the reasoning behind the name?
The reasoning behind the name was because I had no idea what else to name it.
Yeah, cool.
And I knew that if I named it my name, there was no going back. The humble dress could work. I knew if I called it Kianna, there was no going back. And I really wanted to commit to it because I had always said, like growing up my whole life, I always said, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I never stuck to anything that I said I would want to do. It's like me at the gym.
We've got so much in common.
And I was like, I'm just so fucking over it. I just want to find something that I'm passionate about and just stick to it. So I was like, if I name it Kianna, there's no going back.
Yeah.
And it honestly, like, it's true because when you put a name to something, there really is no going back.
Do you reckon it's a bit like when you create an Instagram name? So I'm sure you created an Instagram for Kianna, right?
Yeah.
Which is Kianna Official, correct?
Yes.
Is it a bit like also when you create that, you're like, I've put it out on my own personal people. I can't look I can't look silly here and go back on my word.
Yeah.
I reckon that's where it becomes almost legit. It's like psychologically, it's the smallest thing, but you're like, man, I'm putting it out to everyone that this is my name, and I've got to go. I've got to run with this now.
Well, and it was just so hard to kind of decide. But a few years before I actually started the label, I got asked to make a Logie's dress for Lavinia Nixon. So when I did that,
Channel 9 presenter. Yeah.
So when I did that, I was like, oh, I don't have a name to put on the dress. So then they just, said Kianna Magelaki, and I was like, oh, Kianna, maybe I can use that. And then how
did they get in touch with you to do that?
So the stylist. So I did a bit of work in film and TV in costume.
Wow.
And I knew the stylist from when I did a bit of work at Channel 9, and she reached out to me after I had left Channel 9 and asked if I wanted to, because at the time I was working in bridal and I thought maybe I wanted to go down the path of bridal dresses and custom dresses. But yeah, she reached out and I did that and I had no idea what to name, say the dress was by. I was like, Kianna, Magelaki, Kianna. And that's kind of when I got a logo made. And then the logo I got made from then is what I decided to keep when I did decide to start my label.
That's awesome. It's no different to, Kaya?
Yes.
That does the bridals.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a different market to you, really.
Yeah.
In respect,
beautiful
but
dresses.
Yeah. I mean,
Really
I know. She's hopefully coming on as well, but it's a bit no different to her name. Her name's actually Kaya, and it's named after thing. I quite like it. I don't know, Kianna. It's different. It's not your everyday name. It's nice and it's nice spelled with a K.
And I was just like, I'm just gonna just name it Kianna. I couldn't think of anything else.
That's awesome. So, are you starting to? Talk to me through your production. So, I mean, where are you starting producing from early days?
Yeah. So when I decided to start, I had worked in fashion. So I studied fashion design at uni. So I did a degree in fashion. And at the time, I didn't know I wanted to do designing. I just thought I wanted to work.
Finished paying the HECS?
Yes.
How bad is it?
It actually wasn't too bad. Mine wasn't too bad. I think I've got a little bit left. I don't know. But yeah, it was, No, it wasn't mine. Mine wasn't too bad.
Yeah, mine wasn't bad and I hardly went. Anyway, it's another story.
I know. I wish I paid more attention. I wish I paid more attention.
You know what? You don't realise it till you start to get paid now. And now mine's done now, finally. But I used to hate seeing that on my pay slip.
Yeah, and I failed some classes too in the early days. And I was like, I've regretted.
Don't talk to me about failing classes.
Yeah, I just regretted it so much looking back. I'm like, I should have tried harder.
100%.
Should have tried harder.
So you're kicking it off. You've done your uni. You've done
uni, done the degree, not knowing what I want to do in fashion. I wanted to work in fashion. Wasn't sure if it was like working for someone else, working in bridal, working in fashion journalism. Like I couldn't work out what it was that I wanted to do. I never actually thought like I want to be my own. I want to have my own label. I never had that thought at that time until I went to New York and that's where it kind of all unraveled. So after my trip to New York, when I decided to commit to launching the brand, I booked to go to China around Christmas time that year.
So that's what we're talking there?
2017. Yeah. And then launched in 2018. Yeah. In August. Yeah. So I went to China, met with suppliers, went to the fabric markets, sampled products and kind of just got everything together to work and worked out what I needed to get done. And just from there, I just, learned how to do everything.
Is New York the epicenter?
It is. Definitely for fashion. But I think what it did for me was it just opened my eyes to the possibilities of what there is out there.
Yeah, okay.
And I think, it just was a real eye-opener for me.
As someone, I remember talking 7 years ago, me and my mate Jake, who's all got the Unlaced podcast, we wanted to do a T-shirt brand or something. Yeah. And I didn't know where to start, so I was like, Jake, you just run with it, man. Like, I'm no good at this stuff. But for someone that wants to create a label, right, and they want to go to, hypothetically, they go to China, how did you know where to go?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I had to do the research. And that's, even though I had worked in fashion, I still didn't know. I thought going into it, I'll know what to do. I'll know how to handle everything that comes my way. But when you're an employee to when you're a business owner, they're two different things.
Yeah, of course.
And it was hard and challenging. And I just had to do a lot of research. I had to, just really just try and figure it all out myself. And that's exactly what I did. And everything kind of fell into place.
Kianna, now as to where you're at, are you doing this full time?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah. So it wasn't always full time. It was always, I worked for the first 3 years. I was working full time while trying to scale the business up to where it was until I committed to leaving. If we go
back to that period, so you launched it in 2018.
Yeah.
You're not full time then?
I'm full time then, yes.
You're full time somewhere else?
I'm full time, yeah. I'm full time I used to work at Neighbours, the TV show.
Really?
In film and TV. In film and TV Neighbours in costume. Wow. So I was working there 60 hours a week, started the business, and I was packing orders before and after work, doing everything before and after work.
So if Neighbours was still going, would you potentially still be there?
No, I left to...
Before it ended?
Yeah, before it ended. Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
So 2018, 2019, 2020, COVID hits.
Yep.
Obviously COVID's doing a lot of things to not just, I imagine, Neighbours set, but also your own brand. When did you start to really... Well, when did you make that call of, I've got to stop doing this full time and focus on this if I want to make it grow?
Well, it wasn't that I decided to leave work completely. So I knew that 60 hours was too much for me. I knew that if I wanted to focus on the business, I couldn't be working 60 hours. So then it was like, okay, what if I worked 38 hours and then worked more hours on the business? So that's what I did. And over time, I scaled down work. And then eventually I decided like I need to make a commitment to making this full time. And that's, something I did about a year ago. And when I did that, I was like, that's it. Like, this is it. And I think the reason why I didn't do that is because I was so fearful and just so scared that it wasn't going to work out.
Yeah.
But honestly, like that decision was the best decision.
Yeah, of course.
I think I ever made. I took a risk. And that's it. It's like I get very scared to take risks, and it takes me such a long time to actually, get to that point where I commit to that risk.
Yeah.
But once I do, it always works out, and I always feel so much better for taking the risk.
Amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. That's awesome, because it does sound like did COVID how much did COVID play a part in, like, did it stunt the growth of Kianna? Did it accelerate it because people were home online shopping? I don't know. It
accelerated, which I was so surprised with, and I was just and I mean, at the time, the business was very small, and it was manageable, and if orders weren't coming through, like, it was okay, but they were coming through, and it actually grew during that time, and it was. Yeah, I look back and I think, who's buying a dress?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing? Who's shopping? Who's buying this stuff?
Just wear it at home and just sit and watch Neighbours.
The people were, and it was just, it was great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think I always take a lot of pride from people that take the plunge and do something. I don't know. Financially, I'm probably similar to you.
It's hard, though. It's hard and challenging.
100%.
You're so fearful a lot of the time.
I don't know. I just look at it like, you've got to have so much. I think it's an up and go thing almost, really. Whereas there's a lot of people that wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Probably myself included. If I was talented in fashion, which I'm not. I'm just the best at just see you later. But I just think it's amazing. I love when hearing those stories about people taking the plunge, because it's so hard, especially when you've got a secure income.
Yeah, and that's 100%. And we had just purchased our first property. So then it was like, I can't leave work. I've got a mortgage to pay now.
Yeah, of course.
It was all that. And then also putting back into the business, because, you have to think about the future of the business and the cash flow of the business. And, it was really hard because I was in a safe, secure spot.
Yeah.
And letting that go was so hard.
Yeah.
But it's just, at the end of the day, I was so sick of working for other people. I was just so sick of working for others, and I was just getting so frustrated with myself and frustrated for the people that I worked with. And I just thought, you know what, like, I'm going to be like, and I used to get stressed a lot at work too. And I'd be thinking, I'm stressed at work, and then I'm stressed because of my business because I can't focus on it. So what if I let the stress from work go, and then I just focus on my own stress? Like, I would rather deal with my own stresses than someone else's stresses.
I get that.
And that's kind of where it was like, fuck it, like, I'm just going to take the plunge and just do this full time. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, at least, I tried, and at least, I gave it a shot.
I love that. I'm so good to see. I said, you see the evolution in people. So it's just really, really incredible to see the way that it's transpired. Now sort of, I guess, do you operate out of, like, you've got like a factory or a warehouse or something, or are you doing it from home? Or
yes, I've got a small warehouse. I was at home previously, but it's in a warehouse now. Oh, it was just so chaotic. I had stock everywhere. I was taking up 3 or 4 bedrooms. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, I cannot. Every day I was like going through stuff, trying to pack orders, trying to find stock. I'm like, this is just nuts. So then again, taking another risk. Do I get a warehouse? Do I get a space? And that's, something I was like, I can't do it yet. But I just took the plunge. And
so you got something close to home now?
Yeah.
At least. Yeah. Like, I know some of the other people that we've had on, like, they're the same, that they've gone on these, and I love these little warehouses. Yeah. They're really cool. Yeah. They're awesome. They're little mezzanine levels and everything like that. But it's good to see that people do that. What's the ideal target market of Kianna?
Yeah. So when I started, I thought, it was me when I was 25 when I started the business. So that's what I thought the target market was. But what I've discovered is that the target market is everyone. It's the 18-year-old that has a formal. It's the 65-year-old who wants to wear a suit. It's the lawyer who wants to wear a suit to work. It's, someone, like, it's just, I've had the craziest customers, like, in the sense of just who I didn't imagine being my customer.
Yeah.
So I've had just, like, really incredible customers that I just was blown away when they would shop with me.
Amazing. And is that mostly sorry, you go.
No, it was just really interesting because I think I had this perception that my customer was a certain age. It was, I don't know. I never really thought that it could be everyone.
What you're going to get.
Yeah, and it's just it's been incredible to kind of see.
And with the space that it's in now, are you finding that a lot of the sales are coming Australia wide, or do you get the international orders?
Yeah, so it's grown internationally as well.
Wow.
So that's something I really want to focus on, I guess, over the next year or so, is that international expansion. So a lot from the US and a lot lately from like Europe as well.
Amazing.
It's been really good.
If you need anything I can pack some stuff in my suitcase if you want me to drop it off.
Do you want to do a photo shoot?
It's more if you want me to drop anything over in Greece when I'm there to any of your customers, let me know, because I've got 42 kilos, so I won't fill that up. So just let me know. No, that's amazing. Yeah. It's awesome, and the way that it obviously keeps on going, brand wise, obviously, and it just sort of touched on that, which was my last question, or one of the last questions, was going to be that in where do you want to take the business moving forward?
Yeah, definitely. I want to continue scaling here. Yeah, growing it a bit more, and then obviously taking it overseas and growing overseas.
Do you see yourself ever opening up like a storefront or anything like that, or a shop front or whatever they call it?
Yeah, yes and no. Like I always say to myself, I would love to have a shop, but then other times I think, oh no, like I don't want one. But I think I do. I think I do want one. I think it's really good to be able to connect with people in person and kind of have a space where they can come and try on the product and, feel it and see it for what it is.
Yeah, amazing. So that's something that's probably happened a couple of years away, maybe.
Hopefully.
All going well.
Yeah.
And the fashion industry in itself, what's it like from, say, you guys in particular? Is it really helpful, designer to designer? Do you have those relationships where you can lean on other designers and pick their brain, or is it a bit more, I guess, closed book?
It's very, I'd say, closed book.
Yeah.
There's a few people I've been really fortunate to be able to connect with.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I'm so grateful that I've been able to connect with some people that have been able to help me along my journey. And a lot of the time it's actually more men than women.
That help?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Is that because women, if you're doing, say, the space of the formal dresses or the formal gowns as an example, and they're in that space, there's almost that, like, it's competition, therefore you can't communicate? Or not communicate, but assist?
Yeah. I think a little bit of that, but I think sometimes I just work better with men and I can talk to them a little bit better when it comes to that stuff, because it's not an emotional conversation. It's just kind of like, Kianna, this is what you should be focusing on, or Kianna, this is what you should be doing, or just giving me advice on how I can kind of scale the business. But definitely, like, there's been some incredible women that have helped me too. And one of my coaches, who was a female, business coaches, incredible, helped me grow tremendously.
That was going to be my next question, literally, because obviously we saw, that's awesome, because I was going to say, because of the point of view of doing Tony Robbins was the coach and all that. Is there someone that you've got as a mentor, as a coach, and all that type of stuff?
Yes, I've always had a mentor since I've started the business, and always doing something that
as a check-in point.
Yeah, always.
Amazing.
Yeah, because I need to ensure. And like, my fiance always says to me, like, do you need to do all this coaching? I'm like, I do, because it's what actually helps me grow, and it's what helps me get to that next level.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, it's pretty cool to see your growth. What does your fiance do, out of curiosity?
Commercial real estate.
Does he? Yeah. Oh, well, commercial, but we're on the same.
I just love it. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Estate, yeah.
You enjoy it?
Yeah, he loves it.
At least it's Monday. He's Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday, yeah. He
amazing.
Loves it, and he's good at it too.
Good.
Really good.
That's awesome. No, that's a huge help. Look, I think the big thing is, and that's what I'm saying, like, I love seeing people help one another, but I think everyone that started from somewhere. Yeah. So it's a matter of maintaining those relationships as well, and building those. Important. And also, it helps. There's nothing worse than seeing two people at loggerheads over.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I haven't never been in that situation.
Yeah,
but
I could imagine. You don't exactly look at the confrontational type.
Oh, I can be. It depends on the situation. If I need to be, I definitely can be. Like, if I always will stand up for myself and what I believe in. So if I need to be, I definitely will be. But like, in saying that, that's why if someone reaches out to me and needs help with something, or when they're starting a business, I will always help them, because I know what it's like to start and ask people for help, and they just shut you down, or they just ignore you and just don't get back to you, and you're like, oh fuck, like what do I do?
That is the perfect humble climb response, by the way. Almost want to get that as just like a tagline. No, that's amazing. Something that we always like to sort of finish on, and I'm always so grateful for your time, and we never want to take up too much. But we the Humble 3, now it's proudly brought to you by Bonza Snowball. So as I said, you and your fiance are going to smash these. They're fantastic. I love the snowballs.
They look. I have not had one of those since I was.
Yeah, I know. It takes me back to my youth as well. Yeah. Very nostalgic. So you guys are going to love them. But the Bonza 3, the Humble 3, brought to you by Bonza Snowballs. It's just the standard 3 questions that we ask everybody. So I'll get into it right off the top. If you weren't doing what you were doing now in the space that you're in, what would you be potentially doing and why?
Oh, maybe be a detective.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, maybe. Or, maybe be a detective. I love solving things.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love solving things.
Little copper.
Yeah,
okay.
Potentially.
If you had a billboard, what would it say and why?
It would say, keep going and don't give up, because you never know what's going to be on the other side.
Good. I like it. And location? The billboard?
Times Square.
Nice. Good one. No one's ever gone international with their billboards. They've always gone.
That's like the best place to have a billboard if you're going to have a billboard.
Yeah, makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. I've always thought like Dandenong Road, Oakley, but obviously.
Or Dandenong Road, Oakley.
You've obviously thought bigger picture. And the last one in particular, it doesn't have to be someone within your family, but it can be outside your family, but also from a business sense point of view of helping you get you where you're at. Who's the biggest sort of mentor in your opinion, or biggest inspiration for you personally?
Definitely my mum. Yeah.
Makes sense. I thought you were going to say that as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
Makes sense. I'd normally say outside the family, but obviously if your mum's taking you from,
her resilience has taught me resilience, and it's the reason why I've done what I've done, is because she's given me the opportunity to create something bigger than what I ever thought.
Yeah, clearly. It's almost like sometimes I think that if you don't have those life experiences, you may still, but maybe don't get to where you're at today.
No, either. And we live in a country where there's just so much opportunity. I don't want to waste it.
Are you an only child?
No, I've got 2 sisters.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, stepsister and a younger sister.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. So so you're well covered. What's mum's name?
Helen.
Helen, you're a star. We'll keep that out there.
She will love that.
She'll love that shout out.
She will love that.
Make sure she shares it. As always, guys, Kianna, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to come on. So we try and keep it as always under an hour is always my intention. So I can't thank you enough for coming on. You're going to take away some delicious Bonza Snowballs that you can have with your fiance tonight. But a massive, massive thank you. Seeing your growth has been incredible. Obviously from where we met on Zoom to where we're at now. So I'm rapt that you obviously get to get some sort of platform, because I think there was a fantastic article I saw the other day was it on Channel 7 News?
Yes.
That you sold 3,000 pairs of a particular pant. So that's pretty cool to see that. I think the timing's really, really good. You deserve all the gratitude you've got. So I can't thank you. To the sponsors, as always, Bonza Snowballs, Waterwall Prints, Gigi Heron Kids, and B&A Car and Truck Repairs. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. There's always opportunities for people to jump on board. So feel free to slide into the DMs if you do have any interest in jumping on board as a sponsor. Can't thank you guys enough. Enjoy the snowballs. And as always, continue to like, rate, subscribe. Once you exit this video or clip, whatever you're listening to, make sure you subscribe, give us plenty of love, and continue to help us grow. So Kianna, you're a star.
Thank you so much.
We've got our Buxton Awards night coming in August. Well, yeah. I mean, look, not for me personally, but I know there'll be girls in the office that will definitely need a dress. We might have to sort out a bit of a discount code or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. So we'll sort out a discount code, and anyone, the listeners as well, that you want to jump on to the Instagram Kianna Official. And website?
KiannaMagelaki.com.
Amazing. Jump on, buy, shop, support good local business. And I can't thank you enough.
Thank you so much.
You're a star.
You're a star.
Chat to you soon, guys.